I reckon the Alarm are the best band in the world. There's no one to touch them.
A concert appearance from the Alarm involves an incredible amount of energy from every member of the group. We try to go on as if we're going out for the encore, and we don't like to warm up at the expense of the paying audience.
Well, for years we've been supporting this band. We've been virtually all over the country with them. Fantastic.
We didn't know a lot about Alarm until quite recently when we did the record with them. But now we do, because these lads here have really given us their history.
Whenever I'm on stage, I try to live up to the expectations of the audience. Sometimes we make it and sometimes we don't, and that is what the challenge of being in a band is all about. The Alarm are lucky. We grew up together before we formed a rock group. We were 4 friends in a small North Wales town. The hotel room, a veritable cliché in rock and roll. The earliest recorded rock and roll music was recorded in hotel rooms, and thousands of bands have written some of their greatest songs in hotel rooms, probably just like this. I myself have stayed in 1 million hotel rooms and written many songs in hotel rooms on my travels around the world with the Alarm. For me, I grew up in a hotel room, this very hotel, in fact. Well, things have certainly changed in there. I did find the room where I had my first guitar lesson, though. My sister was going out with this young man who was in a local rock and roll group, and we persuaded my mother to buy me a guitar. He had this red and white and blue guitar for sale with a Union Jack. It's a very horrendous looking thing. And he came here and gave me my first guitar lesson and taught me to play the chord of C. I'm still trying to learn the rest, though. Initially, I felt restricted growing up in Rhyl as a young boy and a young man. I felt restricted within the culture. I felt a sense of being cut off from the rest of the world. The song Spirit of 76 is an autobiographical song which does document our growing up here in North Wales and living sometimes in the shadow of the great city of Liverpool, which is only across the water. I used to go with my friend John to Eric's Club in Matthew Street, and there we would be exposed to the music of Britain at the time, Elvis Costello and the Boomtown Rats, and that music affected us greatly. It made us stop dead in our tracks and question ourselves and look at what other directions we could take our lives.
Well, I find myself in reverie about what we might have had and what might have been. We had something going on that was such a long, long time ago. It was way back in 76, our friendship formed of pure innocence. We first met on Matthew Street, and we heard something that would set us free. A sign stands over a door, it says 4 lads who shoot the world. In the depths of those heady nights, we would dream of those bright lights. Oh, my friend, oh my friend, oh my friend. Somewhere tonight out on the street, somewhere beneath this city, the eyes of strangers who pass me by. Life is cruel and so unkind. Whoa, the spirit of 76.
I managed to meet Eddie, Dave and Nigel, and we were lucky that our music did fall upon good ground, and people were receptive to our music, and we had to really achieve that initially by moving away so our music could spread with a greater number of people.
Mercy lights shine in the distance, same as they did for us then. Mercy lights shine bright in the distance. Where are you now, my friend? You see, some nights when I can't sleep, I still think of you. Of all the promises, all the dreams we shared, I know those lights still call to you. I can hear them now.
We made our first single, Unsafe Building, in September of 1981, and we moved to live in Battersea in South London. Dave Sharp and myself would hawk around all these local CD clubs in London and try and get shows, and if they didn't have a turntable to play our single, we'd have our acoustic guitars and play songs to try and get gigs. We came into contact with Wasted Talent, an agency in London, and they offered us a show with U2 at the Lyceum, which we took and played, and was a very successful show for us. We formed a friendship with them, which still lasts to this day, and we played with them on a number of occasions in America. And we went with them to America first, and we were unknown in Britain at the time. American people really did take to the band, and they took to our stories about where we came from Wales. That woke a question up in ourselves: what is Wales like?
Well, it was here, Neil. First time the Morrison office had been in the Music Express, look.
Well, that makes a change. Those are the words, are they?
Yeah, the words, Mike's words. You can learn these if you want, in case you have to take over from me at short notice.
I was sitting in a house in Montreal last May. We were on a Canadian and United States tour at the time, and the phone went, and a radio producer from BBC Wales called Gareth Morlais asked me would I be interested in joining up with a pop group called The Alarm. Now I have to admit that being middle-aged, I had never actually heard of the group, and I thought, well, we've done this sort of thing before, and it's not, it's not really that exciting. We make records of our own, obviously, and it wasn't with a great deal of enthusiasm, quite frankly, that I said, well, okay. But then he said we would only have time for about 3 rehearsals. So then the panic set in. We knew, of course, that it was going to be an LP track, and that it would end there. But then suddenly, now we find, of course, that it's been released as a single, and all hell is let loose.
Well, it's something that came a bit out of the blue for us, but having said that, I think we're all looking forward to it now. It was a bit difficult at the beginning because only a certain section of the choir could actually attend today's function. And it was a bit difficult as to who you left out, actually, so we decided the only fair way to do it was to draw the names out of a hat. And fortunately for us, we were amongst the people who actually got drawn out of that hat.
That's it. This is the strange thing, you know, it's only a third of the choir. When people see us on the Wogan show, see 40, there's another 80 or so sitting at home glaring at us, you know.
Rather differently, I think, to the normal sort of rock record that the Alarm would put out, this song doesn't feature a guitar. It doesn't have a set of drums in it. It doesn't have any synthesizer at all. It's got a piano solo, it's got a string orchestra, a male voice choir, and of course Mike Peters' voice. So it's a fairly unique sound, I think, for a pop record.
You tend to think when you see the pop stars on television, oh, I wonder what these sort of people are like in real life. You know, Mike was very, very pleasant and very, very, well, he was a nice chap, you know.
Tremendous, I mean, just like an ordinary person.
Go out tonight and have old men in their eyes to make a congregation sing from that old man old.
The song, The New South Wales, had been written by Eddie McDonald and myself quite some time ago, and we played it live in concert, and had tried on the previous occasions of recording the album, we tried it on the Eye of the Hurricane record, but it never seemed to fit in. It felt detached from the main body of work because it was just the voice and the piano. There was no real role within the song for the Alarm, the sound of the Alarm. And we again tried to record the song for the Change LP, and again it had that detached feeling to it, almost crying. It was almost the song had a Hiraeth within it, saying, take me home to Wales and record me there. And that Hiraeth seemed to speak to me, and I thought we must go home to Wales and try it together with a choir and get some of that, the atmosphere that the song is singing about lyrically, capture that on the record.
John and Roy, change round, please. Bill, come in this side.
We've come to terms with being on TV. When we first started, we did an awful lot of TV, celebrity TV and live TV as a band. And it is the live TV that we feel drawn to. And we feel comfortable doing Wogan because we can do it live.
And if we could have 3 rows in there, that would make it much easier, won't it, if you do that?
Harry.
What am I doing here? You know what I mean? I'm staring at the wall.
When we're on TV, we've got just that one opportunity to do it. So I like to try and sort of find a moment where I can sort of take myself through the swell of emotion that can come through a concert, so that I walk out there and I'm ready to put that song across and to do that song to the best of my ability and put it across vocally and emotionally and spiritually to everyone whose ears will come into contact with the music. I will get nervous. I'll get very nervous. That is when the adrenaline starts pumping. And I think that it's a very important feeling to have nerves. It puts you on edge. It sort of brings every nerve to its anticipation point where you're ready and you're primed for anything that might go on.
Now, this show has featured some of the biggest bands over the last 4.5 years, but none bigger than the one we have with us tonight. They bring music from the valleys. Please welcome The Alarm with members of the Morriston Orpheus Male Voice Choir singing A New South Wales.
The shaft wheels turn for the last time in the Rhondda tonight. The Davy lamps that shone so brightly, there's no more need for their light. As the last piece of coal is cut from the belly of the Black Sea hole, a man walks home alone, past a church full of mourning souls. Throughout his lifetime he has fought, he has given his life. In tears the congregation sing, Cum Rhondda, oh my Lord. Great